If your baby sleeps beautifully when they're in your arms but wakes quickly when you try to put them down, you might be wondering whether contact naps are normal. Maybe someone has told you that your baby will become dependent or that they'll never learn to sleep independently if they nap on you. But when we look at infant sleep from a developmental perspective, the picture becomes much more nuanced. In this video, we're going to look at the science behind contact naps, why they're so common, why many babies prefer them, and how they fit into normal sleep development. I'm Lindsay, co-founder of the Holistic Sleep Coaching Program, where we train sleep professionals around the world in responsive, evidence-informed approaches to baby sleep. One of the most common worries I hear from parents is they've somehow created a problem by allowing their baby to sleep on them. Society often paints this as a negative sleep association, a bad habit, or a crutch. But in reality, contact naps are one of the most typical sleep patterns we see in early infancy. So let's talk about why. The first thing to understand is that babies are not born with fully mature regulation and sleep systems. Their brains and nervous systems are still developing rapidly during the first few years of life. That means several things. Their sleep cycles are shorter. Their temperament and personality can make them sensitive to changes in their environment, and they rely heavily on external regulation. In other words, babies often need help settling into sleep and staying asleep. One of the most effective ways they regulate is through proximity to a caregiver. When babies are held, several physiological things happen. Their heart rate often becomes more stable, their breathing calms, their stress hormones may decrease, and their body temperature can regulate more effectively. This process is called co-regulation. Your nervous system helps regulate theirs. So when babies fall asleep on a caregiver's chest, they're not simply choosing a preference. Their bodies are responding to signals of safety and regulation. Another interesting thing we see is that not all babies respond to sleep in the same way. Some babies are able to sleep easily in many environments. Others are much more sensitive to changes in stimulation, position, or separation. These babies may startle more easily, wake more frequently, or need more support settling. And for those babies, contact naps can provide the sensory input that helps them stay asleep. That doesn't mean they'll always need that support, but it can be part of their early sleep regulation. It's also helpful to remember that as a species, we always used to sleep in close proximity with our babies to keep them safe, warm, and protect them from predators. We also never used to have separate bedrooms or beds. Anthropologically and historically, it's normal. To this day, sleep practices vary widely around the world. In many cultures, babies sleeping close to caregivers, whether during the day or night, is completely expected, and not just during infancy either. Independent sleep spaces are actually a relatively recent cultural preference in many Western countries. So when parents feel worried that their baby prefers sleeping close to them, it's often because of cultural expectations rather than biological concerns. For many families, contact naps are actually a very practical solution. They can help babies sleep longer, they allow parents to use slings or carriers while moving around, and they can create opportunities for closeness during the early months of life. For some families that works beautifully. For others, it eventually becomes difficult to sustain. Both experiences are completely valid. At some point, many families start exploring other nap options. Sometimes that's because parents need more hands-free time, sometimes babies are starting childcare, sometimes parents simply feel ready for a change. The key thing to understand is that transitions in sleep often happen gradually as babies mature. Their nervous systems become more capable of regulating independently, their sleep cycles lengthen, and they slowly tolerate more distance during sleep. One of the most reassuring things for parents to know is that sleep development is dynamic. What a baby needs at 3 months can look very different from what they need at 9 or 12 months. Many babies naturally become more comfortable sleeping in different environments as they grow. So if your baby strongly prefers contact naps right now, that doesn't mean they will always need them. Development itself often changes the landscape. When we look at baby sleep through a developmental lens, the goal isn't to force babies into one particular sleep pattern. Instead, it's about understanding how sleep evolves over time. Some families continue contact naps for quite a while, others gradually transition to crib naps earlier. There's a wide range of normal. What matters most is finding an approach that supports both the baby's regulation and the parent's well-being. Are contact naps normal? Yes, they're extremely common during early infancy. They reflect how babies regulate, how their nervous systems develop, and how humans have cared for infants throughout history. For some families, they remain a wonderful part of daily life. For others, they eventually become something to gently transition away from. Both paths are completely understandable. If you found this video helpful, check our earlier video exploring the 4 biggest factors influencing sleep. And if you're a health, lactation or childcare professional, or you're considering switching careers and want to learn how to support families with sleep in a deeper and more responsive way, you can book a free call with our team using the link below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.